Press record. And here we are. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Admitted Student Next Step session as part of our virtual experience for our Destination UNC Admitted Student events. My name is Bryson Kelly. I use the he, him, his pronouns, and I serve as the Associate Director of Recruitment at the University of Northern Colorado. Really excited that you all are joining us for this session. Before we begin, I just want to talk through some quick logistics about our session. I will go through the presentation, but make sure that I leave time at the end for questions. So we'll do a little bit of a Q&A at the end. Today's session is being recorded to view on demand later today, or even a couple of weeks from now, as you try maybe to remember some of the next steps. We know that this is both an exciting and also a stressful process. And so hopefully this information is helpful to really kind of demystify the next steps process, but really kind of get you connected to what you might need to do. First of all, for those that are here, congratulations on your admission. We're super excited to be able to have you here at UNC and talk through some of these next steps. So we will go ahead and get started. First of all, there is an admitted student page or landing page that we have. I will show that to you real quick. This is going to be really your one-stop shop for a lot of different things around just taking time to celebrate this part of the process as you're looking for the things that you like in colleges and making your decision. This goes through some of the steps that I'm going to talk about. So how to become a UNC Bear, get you logged into your admissions portal, all of those different things. And then also talk a little bit about Destination UNC events that we're here at, the housing process, our new student orientation, and at the bottom of this page is where you're going to be able to see this recording later today. So we'll have that on demand. But this is a really good start, this webpage, to be able to learn a little bit more about our next steps. So we're going to start with the admissions portal. The admissions portal is where you filled out the application if you filled out the Bear application, but if you filled out the common application, we sent you a quick text message to get you logged into your admissions portal. Your admissions portal is where you're going to find most, if not all, of your next steps, and it has a couple different checklists. I don't know about you all, but I love some checklists on a daily basis, you know, being able to cross something off once I know that I completed it. And our checklist is built that way, where there's a red X if you need to do that, there's a green check mark once you do that. So there's three primary checklists. So there's an admitted checklist, a cost and financial aid checklist, and then an enrollment prep. So preparing you to go through the full steps of enrolling at UNC. And then there's a couple different tabs that I'll talk about that are at the top of the admissions portal. So first of all is the checklists. So you'll see an admitted checklist, a cost and financial aid checklist, and an enrollment prep checklist. You'll see these green check marks, you'll see the red X's. So this is anything from activating your student accounts, completing the honors program application, some things that are optional, and some different invitations in there. And I'll talk about some of these and really just kind of the steps that you are going to really want to key in on that are going to be the four most important steps. I think sometimes in higher education and looking at this college search process, there's so many different steps, and I want to make sure that you navigate this process, because what I love about my job is I'm an educator, not a salesperson. And so being able to help you kind of go through this process and navigate it successfully. Cost and financial aid, we'll talk a little bit about some of those details of the financial aid offers and what that looks like to apply for financial aid, as well as the enrollment prep checklist. But this is what it would look like and what it should look like for you. You'll also see a My Information tab. So the homepage is where you'll find all your checklists. You'll see the new student orientation tab, as well as the My Information tab. This is where you're going to change anything that you might want to. So if you need to update some information, so we have your contact information here. If you need to request any changes, you can submit this change request form. So if that's like a change to your major, if that's possibly, you know, a change to your phone number, that you've gotten a new email address, then you'll also see all of your information right here. So your start term, what student type, if you're a first-time first-year student coming from high school, if you're a transfer student coming from a community college or another four-year institution, the program that you're looking at studying, as well as the college that that program is under. And then if we offered you one of our merit-based academic scholarships, you'll see that right there, as well as your residency tuition classification. So whether you're a Colorado resident, a WUI resident, or the Western Undergraduate Exchange, or a non-resident coming from out of state. So you'll find all of that information in there. All right. Let's talk about these 4 important steps. So there's a lot of noise, like I mentioned, in the college search process with a lot of different steps and things that you need to do. Really, if there's one thing that you take away is these 4 steps after admission and going through the process. And I'll go through each of these, but really important to kind of key in on some of these steps. First is going to be submitting the FAFSA or the CASFA for any of our undocumented students. This is going to be your primary financial aid application. And so what that looks like is this is your key to be able to receive a holistic financial aid offer. If you have not submitted your FAFSA or you submitted your FAFSA and haven't added UNC as a school, do so as soon as possible. We definitely want to give you that full financial aid offer that includes the need-based financial aid, scholarships, grants. That would be in addition to if you received a merit-based or academic-based scholarship. Next is going to be the tell us your plans. This is, you know what, Bryson, UNC is the place for me. Went to this virtual session, maybe went to campus, did a virtual tour. I've decided that UNC is the place for me. We're super excited to be able to celebrate with you, but then also really wanting you to go ahead and tell us that. So that's going to be the Tell Us Your Plans form. That's located in your admissions portal. To confirm your attendance at UNC, it's a $200 confirmation deposit, or if you might qualify for a waiver, you can also be able to submit that request for that waiver. What this $200 is this is a deposit towards your first bill. This is not an additional fee or anything like that. This is how you could save your spot and confirm your plans. Plus, it unlocks the next 2 steps within your admissions portal, so you can go ahead and apply for housing, and then register for orientation. As for housing is assigned on a first come, first served basis. So you've already confirmed and you have not filled out your housing contract and want to live on campus, you would definitely recommend going through that process and doing that as soon as possible. It is a first come, first served basis. With housing, the thing that's unique to UNC is that we have over 17 different options with a lot of benefits to living on campus. We do have a first year living on campus requirement for our students that do not live within the direct local area. There's a lot of different opportunities to be able to get involved within a community within housing. We have 4 different tiers that work in different pricing structures and 17 different options. Like I mentioned, anything from a traditional dorm where it's you and one other person and with a community style bathroom down the hallway, all the way up to a 4-person suite where it's 2 double bedrooms connected by a living room and a bathroom, possibly a kitchen as well. So some different options in there. But if you've decided that UNC is a place for you, housing is going to be a good first next step after you've confirmed using that Tell Us Your Plans form. With housing is a $100 deposit. This works very similarly to security deposits. If you're renting any places or properties, works very similar to that. That you can be able to pay when you submit the housing contracts. As for the process, so we've kind of passed some of these dates that you'll see on the screen of priority groups. There is an auto assignment happens that July 1st. So if you already filled out your housing contract but haven't gone back in to be able to select a room, we will go ahead, our housing office will auto assign you to a room based on the preferences that you fill out in your housing contracts. But if you've already filled out your contract, you are good to go back into your housing application to be able to select a room. And lastly, the 4th step is going to be registering for orientation. So dates are already open. We'll be hosting June and July sessions in person. We will also have a virtual session for folks that might not be able to travel out to Colorado within the summer. What happens at orientation is you are really getting all of the other steps. So whether it be maybe a parking pass, or it might be getting your student ID, all of those other steps you can go through at orientation. The biggest part of that, and we get this question a whole lot, is that's where you're going to be registering for classes. So in the afternoon of your orientation session, you'll sit down with an academic advisor within your program to be able to help build your first semester schedule, but also give you an idea of what the next 4 years are going to look like. So it's a really good opportunity, and you'll see that new student orientation tab at the top of your admissions portal. And again, Tell Us Your Plans, that form and confirming your attendance unlocks both housing and the sign up for orientation. Other than that, really what we're here for today is to really decide kind of what will your UNC story be. We're super excited to welcome you to UNC this fall and really help you through all of these steps. And really today is about finding out what that story is going to look like, and we're super excited to help support you through that. So that's all I have for you all right now with the presentation.